Giannis Antetokounmpo has made a remarkable legacy in the NBA and may go down in history as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. His impressive form this season begs the question, will Giannis win another MVP award? Giannis is a two-time NBA MVP, which he won back-to-back, a former Defensive Player of the Year, and had an NBA championship to cap his wonderful career. Who is the biggest contender for NBA MVP this year with Giannis? First up, who is tipping Giannis for MVP this year? Giannis Antetokounmpo is the early season MVP, according to Brian Windhorst. Several players in the 2022-2023 NBA season have been enjoying outstanding seasons thus far. Two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of them, and he's not just helping the Milwaukee Bucks to a 20-7 record on the strength of his stellar performance. NBA expert Brian Windhorst of ESPN said Giannis is the early favorite to win the MVP award. The Greek Freak is shooting 54.2% from the field, resulting in 31.8 PPG, 11.2 RPG for his teammates, and 5.5 APG for himself. Giannis has played fantastic basketball, despite missing most of the season with an injured Chris Middleton. When asked who the NBA's MVP has been so far, Brian Windhorst responded, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He has won the MVP twice already. He could make that third down attempt this season. He has just established his authority. He has proven to be in complete command of his offensive abilities. He takes control of the situation and runs with it. Moreover, he has carried the Bucks early on despite several injuries to other key players, Windhorst pointed out. Next up, who are the biggest contenders for the Giannis MVP award? Luka Doncic, having one of the greatest seasons, is one of his main competitors for the title. He has carried the Dallas Mavericks and is currently the league's best scorer. In contrast, Doncic's squad is not nearly near playoff contention after the season's first quarter. At 34 years of age, Stephen Curry is averaging 30 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. On the other hand, Curry's case for MVP is hampered by the fact that the Golden State Warriors have been just as ordinary as the Dallas Mavericks this season. That's why Jason Tatum has to be Giannis's toughest opponent. The 24-year-old led the Boston Celtics to the best record in the NBA this season, easily the greatest of his brief career. Should he maintain this level of play, the Celtics forward deserves serious consideration for the award. MVP may again be up for grabs because of Antetokounmpo's stellar play, especially over the past week and a half. Jason Tatum's team also has the best record in the NBA this season, so Giannis's birthday was a few days ago. Top 5 facts about the Greek Freak. First, Giannis Antetokounmpo, a two-time NBA MVP and current star for the Milwaukee Bucks, was born on December 6, 1994. The first two amazing things about the Greek Freak are as follows. Giannis Antetokounmpo began his professional basketball career in Greece, where he was born and raised by Nigerian immigrants. He played for the Philanthrotikos minor teams. During his time in Greece, Antetokounmpo was a member of the senior men's team for the Athens-based Philanthrotikos Zographou, competing in the semi-professional Greek B basketball league, 3rd division. Second, Antetokounmpo was one of the youngest NBA players ever when he debuted on October 13, 2013 at 18. Giannis was the first player in NBA history to finish a regular season in the top 20 in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks while playing for the Milwaukee Bucks in 2016-2017. In 2019 and 2020, Giannis won back-to-back MVP awards, making him only the third player in NBA history, along with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James, to accomplish this feat before turning 26. By winning the NBA MVP title and the NBA Defensive Player of the Year award in the same season, he became only the third player in NBA history, joining Michael Jordan, 1988, and Hakeem Olajuwon, 1994, to accomplish this feat. Antetokounmpo won Finals MVP in 2021 after helping lead the Bucks to their first NBA title since 1971. Also, that year he was chosen for the NBA's 75th anniversary team. Other remarkable facts about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Third, he participated in the Greek Armed Forces compulsory military service. Antetokounmpo and his brother Thanasis, a professional basketball player, both served a shortened 3-month military obligation in 2016 as a part of Greece's mandatory military service program. The two brothers went from the United States to Greece to serve their sentence, and then came back to the States to resume their training with the Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks, respectively, at that time. Antetokounmpo has met United States President Joe Biden, and here's what they spoke about. Antetokounmpo and the 2021 NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks visited the White House to accept congratulations from President Joe Biden. At the ceremony, President Joe Biden told Giannis, the NBA Finals MVP, that at age 26, you're just getting started. Even more so, you won the championship alongside your brother, who is also here today, and you now have a ring to add to the one your brother already has. This is one fantastic family for sure. I think you won the gene pool, Biden said to Giannis. Finally, Antetokounmpo's Disney movie, inspiringly based on real events. Antetokounmpo's life as a Nigerian immigrant in Athens is shown in the Walt Disney feature film Rise. The story depicts a family's reliance on God and its resolve to escape poverty. Uche Agata, a teenage actor who saw a casting call for the film on Antetokounmpo's social media, played Antetokounmpo in the film. The film was shot in Greece and the United States. In other news, Giannis breaks another franchise record for Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo sets another Milwaukee Bucks record and is becoming an even bigger legend for the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis bounced back from his poor performance in Houston by dominating the Golden State Warriors last night. Along the process, he also established a new franchise record. He is officially a legend in the city. Even though he didn't have a great shooting night, Giannis still managed to lead the Bucks to a victory with 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists in just under 30 minutes of action. After last night's game, Giannis surpassed Bucks great Bob Dandridge, who played 22,094 minutes for Milwaukee, for most minutes played in franchise history, with 22,113. Giannis explained the win's significance to his friends and family after the game. It's a big deal that Antetokounmpo has logged the most minutes ever for the Bucks, he added. No matter what you've done, it's an honor to feel like you've made a difference in a team's history. Quite the feat, indeed. Even though he's only 28, Giannis has set numerous franchise records in terms of playing time, points, blocks, free throws, and triple-doubles. The Greek freak is unrivaled, and Antetokounmpo, who now ranks second in points, rebounds, and assists, will almost certainly add to that total. Giannis is still young at 28, but this is his 10th season in the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks' former minutes record was held by Dandridge, a franchise legend and an integral part of the teams of the 1970s. It's true that Bobby D, as he was called, wasn't exactly a pushover. Dandridge played in 618 games for the Milwaukee Bucks, averaging 18.6 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 3.2 assists, while becoming a 4-time All-Star and 2-time NBA champion. Up next, when is the NBA trade going to be opened? Trade talk in the NBA, the season of last-minute trades, begins with a laundry list of possible transfers. Is your team trying to get better? The answer is, could things possibly get worse? Yes, it's that time of year again, when NBA teams are eager to exchange something other than holiday cheer, namely draft picks. Instead of packing boxes and suitcases, a team should focus on acquiring the players they need to overcome obstacles. The playoffs, the play-in or NBA draft lottery. Over 90% of NBA players become tradable on December 15th. That doesn't mean superstars like Luka Doncic or LeBron James will be on the move, but it does imply that their teams, the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers, will likely be among those searching for help in a deal. The initial crop of trade season rumors supports the idea that there are others among them. Up next, potential players and teams that will be very busy when the NBA trade starts. What's with the Lakers and their big plans for young players from Chicago like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan? Bojan Bogdanovic is more grounded in reality, perhaps targets, as well as a reminder that Jay Crowder and John Collins are still very much up for grabs. And the Pistons are accepting calls on Saddiq Bey. The Knicks want to mix things up with Evan Fournier at the front of the trade block, and so on. Bleacher Report's Chris Haynes reports that the Lakers have contacted Kyle Kuzma about a potential return to Los Angeles. Even though it sounds too good to be true, Kuzma would love that result. The Lakers have high expectations for themselves, while the Wizards appear to be losing ground in the postseason chase. For a star player like Kuzma, Los Angeles is the perfect fit because of the city's potential as a postseason contender and its convenient location. The Sacramento Kings have been the subject of much media attention, with names like Gary Trent Jr. of the Raptors being bandied about in connection to various rumors. Clippers, Beverly Kendrick none, and a first-round pick aren't as appealing as a larger trade involving a possibly revitalized Russell Westbrook. The Lakers are still reluctant to part with 2 first-round picks. The Lakers have the luxury of time, now that LeBron James's career is winding down, and Anthony Davis is playing like the MVP candidate he once was. How much of a turnaround does Los Angeles need to make to become a legitimate contender in the wide-open Western Conference? What's more, do they have the resources to close the deal? In other related news is Nikola Jokic making a case for a 3rd straight MVP. Putting out his case for a 3rd consecutive MVP award is Jokic. Many NBA teams had great scoring nights, but the big guy in Denver was the best of the bunch. 13 of 20 teams in the association on Wednesday scored at least 120 points, while 4 scored more than 130. There is much more clarity about the standings in the East than in the West, although we are more than a third of the way through the season for most clubs. In the Eastern Conference, the top 7 teams are separated by a bare 7-game margin, with no ties at all. In the West, the gap between first and last is 7 games. Between first and 7th is 3 games, and in between first and 4th is a 3-way tie. Many of the West's top players, including Nikola Jokic, Damian Lillard, and Luka Doncic, delivered for their squads on Wednesday. At the same time, the East also provided its fair share of highlight reel moments. Unfortunately, guys, that's all the time we have today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, cheers!